Welcome to the Diva Details. Welcome to the Diva Details, where bold, confident women embrace life unapologetically. From love and sex to wellness and reinvention, we keep it raw, real, and powerful. No filters, no limits. Just fearless conversations to help you thrive. Let's dive in with Diva Mia and Diva Kat.
Well, hello, this is Diva Mia, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about making every year great. I think there's several secrets that you need to think about when you're thinking about making your year great. And it doesn't matter when you're starting. It could be the middle of the year. So maybe you're starting halfway through the year and you're planning for the rest of the year. Making every year great really does start with just something very simple, and that's your mornings. I think people work too hard thinking that they have to make every minute of every day count, and it's not true. Mornings are so important. Scientifically and psychologically, the morning routine, as soon as you get it started, will set the pace for your entire day. A consistent morning can make you have a good day. It'll improve your mood, your focus, your productivity, and it creates long-term habits that you can develop for the rest of your life. They always say if you're working out to work out in the mornings because that way you make sure you get it done. Anything that's very important for you to do, even if you don't really want to do it, you should do it in the morning. And great mornings lead to great days, and great days compound into great years. So if you can focus on making your mornings spectacular, you'll do better. Now, there's a book out there. It's called The Miracle Morning Framework, and I highly recommend it if you really want to have a successful life. And there's a tip in it. It's called the Savers Method. And every morning it's a routine that you can do, and it starts with silence or meditation and prayer. And meditation, they've proven to actually reset your whole nervous system. So if you can start each morning with silence, and if you're a religious person, if you pray or if you just meditate, it's going to really start your morning off. Now, I do not recommend doing this in bed, because if you're like me and you go silent and you try to meditate, you might fall right back to sleep. So when you meditate and you have silence and prayer, you need to do it somewhere. If you're waking up in the morning and the sun's coming up, it's great to meditate outside if the climate allows. If not, you should have a place in your house that you can meditate at every morning. That way you consistently do it and you know where to go. Next in the Savers Method is to have affirmations. And affirmations are things that you can say. Most of the time people recommend saying it to themselves in the mirror, like I am successful or I make 7 figures, or whatever it is for you. Whatever affirmation that you need, but it needs to be consistent. And you say it every day, and it's great self-talk. It'll help your self-talk, it'll help your mindset, it'll help your self-image. And never say nasty things to yourself. Say you've got this, say you can do it. Always encourage yourself whenever you're talking to yourself. And then you should visualize. So if you have a goal or a dream in mind, I recommend having a vision board. The vision board is wonderful. You can take a look at it, then you can close your eyes. Now, don't do it on the bed again. You might fall back to sleep or in a lazy boy chair. But visualize and rehearse your goals as if they've already existed. This is kind of the law of attraction tied in here too. If you can visualize you already having what you want, or you already being the person that you want to be, that's half the battle. This will help you get to your goals faster. I am one for, attracting things and manifesting things. And I will tell you, when I do this process, things tend to just fall into place for me. Things work out like I never expected them to. And then after you've done your silence, you've done your affirmation, and you've done your visualization, the next thing is exercise. So you're going to exercise in the morning. I like to walk. Personally, I like to walk on an empty stomach. Before you've had anything to eat, you can have some water if you need to, but exercising in the morning and getting a nice little walk in, especially if you can do it outside as the sun's coming up, that morning helps you reset your internal clock, your sleep cycle, It makes you feel empowered to walk outside in the morning. You could lift weights, but going from visualization to lifting weights may be a lot on your body. Personally, I think even just a 15, 20-minute walk in the morning is a wonderful thing to start. I like to walk for at least an hour, but exercising every morning gives you energy, gives you health, and you'll just feel so successful that you've already accomplished this. I exercise on the treadmill, and I will do personal development, which is the R. So far we've done Savor R or Save R. And personal development can be some type of education, self-help book, something that's going to motivate you, something that you need to maybe learn about. But reading is a wonderful way to do it. You can read. You can also listen to Audible books if your eyes aren't the best. But some type of way to do personal development. And the S in Savers is scribing. Now, this is journaling. I know if you've listened to my podcast, I'm huge about writing things down. But journaling should also, write down what you're grateful for and your intentions for the day. If you don't have a list of things that you're going to get done today, make your priority list and then journal and write your thoughts down and be grateful for everything you have. I am big at doing gratitude at night as well, because when you go to bed thinking how grateful you are and then you wake up in the morning grateful that you woke up, you got to be grateful about that, because some people didn't. So every day, just be grateful for what you have, write it down, and that's the Savor method. So that's a great way to do a morning routine. I also like to expand upon this. Is the best time to wake up, I think, is between 5 and 6, but I've been finding myself lately waking up even earlier at 4 so that I can get everything done around the house as well as my exercise in before my children even wake up. So if you have children, it's a great way to be accomplished in the morning. Now, I will say sometimes when I wake up at 4 o'clock and I get a lot of work done first thing in the morning, sometimes I do need a nap later in the day. So I do warn you about that. So if you don't have time for that, 4 o'clock might be a little early for you, but who knows? 4 o'clock might be great depending on what time you go to bed. You should also come up with a sequence of activities that help you focus and regulate your emotions. I think the meditation is great. I also like doing yoga in the morning. If I can get yoga in after I walk, it's wonderful because then I feel stretched and alive. And if you're able to, doing yoga outside is even better. And then I have a morning playlist. It lets me dance around the house. Honestly, it gets me pumped and ready to go and makes me happy for the day. I also have natural lights installed in my living room and my kitchen so that it's natural sunlight, kind of. It's about as close as you can get without the real thing. And that helps as well. It gives you like an energy boost. Some people jump in cold plunges in the morning. Some people do breath work in the morning. It depends on what works for you. Some people even do saunas in the morning. I like to do saunas personally at night because then I sleep better. But if you want to do some type of energizing ritual in the morning, you can do that. And then, of course, the journal. Essential oils also wake me up. So if you have any essential oils like eucalyptus or things like that, they might be able to help you wake up. And then don't shock yourself out of sleep. First thing in the morning, you need to have a calm alarm wake you up, but only if you can actually wake up to it. I tend to sleep with an eye mask at night so that I sleep soundly and there's no light coming into my eyes. So any type of alarm in the morning will tend to wake me up. It's just I have to make sure not to go back to sleep. So that's my big thing. I don't know how it is for you, but you got to do what works for you. So some of the affirmations that you might want to tell yourself in the morning, it helps to rewire your brain. If you've been overweight, maybe you need to say, I'm in shape, I'm fit, I'm getting healthier every day. Or I am in the best shape of my life. And maybe you are. And you can't say something that's lying, but I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life and getting better every day. And so as soon as you get to that point, you're like, wow, this is really great. Or maybe you want to compete in something. I'm a competitor in a bodybuilding competition, or I'm a power lifter, or I'm a marathoner or a triathlete, whatever you'd like to say. Those are positive affirmations. And I win first place. How about that? And whatever your goals are, have them align. Okay. And then for like money, you can say I make 6 figures or I make 7 figures every single year. Money comes to me easily and frequently. All those are positive affirmations. If you want to watch the movie The Secret, that kind of goes over the self-talk mornings that will help you get through the day and make you stronger and better. Making a great year can start at any time. And I do want to preface this as people go through a lot of stuff. And when you're down and out, if you can make your mornings amazing, you will find that your days get better, your weeks get better, your months get better, and it really does turn the tide into a successful life. So let's work focused on our mornings. And then after your morning power hour or your morning 2-hour power hour, or however long it takes you to complete, then you to have a schedule. And your mornings have to be fully scheduled to about 1 or 2 o'clock. Because if you can get your mornings done and you can work diligently until 1 or 2 o'clock minimum, and you can stay focused and you have everything planned out the night before, you're going to have a successful day. Because what tends to happen is if you don't have things planned out, by the time stuff starts happening, everybody else is going to take your time. And other projects at work will take over, or other things that maybe aren't as high priority as you need them to be in order to feel successful for the year. So let's focus on only the things that matter to make us successful. Once you do that, the other stuff falls away. Now, I'm not saying don't pay your bills because everybody's got to pay bills, but maybe consolidate it into 1 day a month that you're looking at bills, or 2 days a month that you're looking at bills. Get them all paid twice a month, and that way you don't have to worry about them on a daily basis. I know some people, they'll open up their email, they have a bill, they go into their bank account, they don't have auto pay set up, they should, and then they process the payment, and every single day they spend an hour on bills. That's not a good way to go. Let's focus on the things that really matter, the things that will get you to your goals and your mindset. There's another couple apps that you might want to look into. There's an app called Calm, which will help you as well as meditation. There's some motivational quote apps, Insight Timer. There's Motivate. There's actually an app called Motivate. Those types of apps will help you stay on target. You can also set up reminders. If you need a reminder to stand up and walk for 5 minutes every hour, set up a reminder on your phone. But make sure you do it. And meditation, a minimum of 5 minutes, that's not too much to ask. I highly recommend it. Again, just don't do it in bed because you'll fall back asleep. And then make sure that you are happy with your goals, because I think sometimes people set goals and they're not the ones that people actually want. They're the ones that society has told them that they need, or their partner has told them that they need. But if that's not what you want, make a shift and make a change now, because you're the only one that can determine exactly what you want and exactly what you need. And you're the one that needs to transform your life. No one else can do that for you. It's all up to you. If you have a plan and you have goals and you have your vision board, the next step is then just to get your miracle morning down, get all the steps down that you need to for the day, write your task list, and then you're going to be successful. You're going to come out of the morning, you're going to say, oh my gosh, I got everything done I needed it done, and it's not even noon. Because I found, honestly, I overestimate the amount of time some things take for me to do. If you can get better at estimation on time, you're going to find that you'll get more done in the morning. And then what you'll do is you'll have the afternoon to just take a breath, plan for the next day, and then you can hit the other projects that maybe are secondary that need to also get done, but you didn't have time to get done in the morning. Your morning has to be your high priority stuff. If health is important to you, you got to get your workouts done in the morning. Now, I know some people, they say they'll do it in the evening, but what tends to happen is, you've had a long day at work, and now what do? You go home and you're like, I'm too tired to work out. In the morning, I think that if you can get that morning workout in and done, you're going to be so much more successful, because if you're going to skip, a lot of people skip the evening, because what happens is things happen, work gets exhausting, the children have an emergency, or you're just tired and you come home and you're like, I can't do it. I've been working all day. But if it's already done in your morning, you're going to already have more energy. You're going to feel healthy, and it's going to give you more energy long term. So just remember that you have the ability to do anything you want. And if you can fix your mornings, you can fix your year. If you can fix your mornings, you fix your days. And your days compound into successful year. So my challenge for you is to make a morning routine that you don't miss. Find a time that you can wake up, make that morning routine. And I also have a checklist of things I have to do each day. That's for the full week, and each day is different. And every day I actually just check it off. I don't know why that's so rewarding to me to actually check off things that I accomplished. But then at the end of the week, I can look back and say, I didn't hit my goal, and here's why. I missed this day, and this day. I can't do that. So you're like your own self-accountability partner at that point. If you're not hitting your health goals, are you getting through the gym what you said you were going to do? Because people have a short memory sometimes. They're like, oh, no matter what I do, I just don't hit my health goals, or I don't lose the weight I want, or I'm not bulking or building the way I want. And then you look at their schedule and they're like, oh, well, I only made it to the gym once this week, or I only made it to the gym twice this week, and I walked for 5,000 steps. Come on. If you're barely getting off the couch, you can't expect to get in good shape. If you're that much of a couch potato, good luck losing the weight you want. If you're not hitting your financial goals, well, maybe it's because, you were supposed to make 100 calls on Monday and you made 5. So track what needs to be tracked in order for you to succeed at the level you need to succeed. And only you can write that down. I always recommend working backwards from your goals. So set your goals. And I take my goal, and what I end up doing is what I think I need to do for the year is I double it. And then I divide it by 4. So let's say I wanted to make $400,000 this year. I could double it to 8. And then I'd say, okay, let's shoot for $200,000 a quarter. And let's do everything we can to make that $200,000 in a quarter. The reason why I do things quarterly instead of annually is it's easier to keep track of. And if you get off target, it's easier to adjust. And this allows me for half the year. If I get to 400,000 and that's all I needed, I have a choice. I can keep going after the first 2 quarters and get to my 800,000 for the year, or I might even take a month off if I wanted to. See how things can be adjusted? You then have freedom of your schedule. You then are free. You have power over you. So remember that if you want whatever your goals are, you can do more because there are other people out there doing more. Just always have a growth mindset. Always try to do more. Always encourage yourself to do more. And just because it hasn't been done yet, it just means you haven't been the one to do it yet. So you can achieve anything you want because you're you and you're unique. And if you want something bad enough, you will find a way. Now, the last thing I have to say about this is I think sometimes we as women will multitask too much. We take on 10 or 15 or 20 goals simultaneously, and we try to get them all done, and they all they fizzle, or they're done halfway, and they're not done to that level that we need to get them done to actually truly succeed. So I recommend not doing more than a couple goals at a time. You can work on your health, you can work on your finances, but you need to have 1 or 2 priorities. Don't have 10, because what will happen is none of them will get done. So scale it back, do a quarterly year. That way, if maybe the first quarter you're working on your health, the second quarter you're working on your finances, the third quarter you're working on something else. Now, it doesn't mean you can't do little bits in each area, but your primary focus has to get done in the morning. Your primary focus has to get done every single day. No excuses. And you need to know what it's going to take to achieve that in a quarter and then do it. So I hope this helped a little bit. I'm a person that really thinks that you have to dream big. I think you have to set high goals. I think that you have to shoot for those goals. And I think it's important to do until the day we die. Because if we're not growing, we're dying as far as I'm concerned. So go out there, dream big, achieve more, and heal. All of this will help you heal if you're going through any struggles, job loss, your kids have gone off to college, you got through a divorce or a bad relationship. All of this will help you heal. So dream big, become you, and love yourself because you're an amazing person. There's only one of you in the entire world. God made you super special and made you for a purpose. I do hope this helped. I hope that you will grow and change and be the very best that you can be, and that no one will be able to stop you because you're amazing. I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment. We'd love hearing from you. Visit thedivadetails.com to connect. See you next week for more.
Diva Details podcast and website are intended solely for informational and entertainment purposes. The content provided does not constitute professional, medical, financial, or legal advice. We are not licensed medical practitioners, financial advisors, or legal professionals. Always consult with a qualified healthcare provider for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Any financial topics discussed are based on personal opinions and experience and should not be considered professional advice. The content provided does not constitute legal advice. The Diva Details and its affiliate, contributor, and guests are not liable for any losses or damages arising from the use of our content. The opinions expressed in the podcast are solely those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of any affiliated organization, sponsors, or partner. All facts discussed in the podcast are researched and accurate to the best of our knowledge at the time of recording. Information may change over time. No guarantees are made regarding the accuracy, completeness, or reliability of any statements or opinions presented. It is the responsibility of the listener to verify any and all facts that may influence their decision. This podcast is for information and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered professional advice.